Good morning, everybody. So we're doing kind of a special recording this morning that we've been working on, I guess, a week or two. We've been trying to get this together. We have Raven with us, and he's a very strong player. And I've asked him questions in the past and have been unable to understand what he says. Because his game, being a strong player, very complex, and I'm a very simple guy. I don't get complex things, just ask my wife. And so we're going to try going through this game of his. And when I see something I don't get, I'll ask him his thinking. Raven, does that sound about right? And we're ready to go?
Sounds perfect to me.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
And our regular friend George is in the background, all muted and everything, but I can see his pretty little face there. Okay. Raven's the Whitestones, and we have a 3-3, unusual, and a 5-3, both unusual, but of course we've all seen them a million times. Yeah, we've seen this before. It's two stones with no relationship, and black dare not do anything about it. Yeah, I've never gone into the details, but I've never seen black be able to even touch this as a punishment.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. Going into the corner tends to be a mistake. So if they do handle it, it's almost always exclusively from the outside somehow.
Right. Okay. So I'll assume next White's going to play on the bottom, on the right. Okay. Both reasonable. I would guess that any of these, and maybe something on top. Maybe something on top. These all seem reasonable next spots?
Yeah, I thought about most of these. I think AI specifically liked C a lot, and it liked A and D about the same. Any move around B is also fine.
Yeah.
My reasoning for going on the right was just that black has two Shamaris and A is the easier side to poke at the corner. So I figure it's like one of those opening moves. Like when you have a lot of opening options, you just pick one and it can't be bad.
This is something very pleasant about this. Black really wants to come in the left, but really doesn't want to. While on the right, White doesn't mind at all. It's easy. But on the left, not so easy. Okay. Play here. All good. I assume Black's going to pinch. Yeah. And you're going to come in at Q4 or out. Yeah. This is kind of a standard thing that AI says, oh, this because of this, and is all this, but coming out, I don't see a problem. Okay. And black comes out here.
Okay. I was also quite surprised.
So we don't usually see black putting so much effort into area one when no reason to think he's going to get area one.
Yeah.
But still, okay, it's all, makes sense.
Yeah, so I thought since he wants to put so much emphasis on it, he's got 4 stones there already. I tried to make him a little over concentrated and expand as aggressively as possible here. The 2 stones felt kind of light because I can always jump to Q4, R4, or get out to the center. I didn't feel any particular pressure to save the 2 stones here.
Okay, so we need to talk about that. Observers might not get that. So let's look at the upper right. If we just look at the upper right, I love your move. Because if black says, oh, I want that area so bad. See, I'm getting that area. Oh, just a second. I'm playing simple moves just so we see the overall picture. What White's getting is way better than what black's getting. So black does not want to take this thing he says he really wants to take. which puts them in an awkward position. So I really like that. It works with white stones well, bothers black. So I love the move. But that leads us to the second deal, which is you have two stones that you say you're playing lightly. Now, I can see, for instance, this white stone, white, black, and the pattern is next to play here. So I can see, oh, the A stone's light, we're going to give them up in order to get the corner or whatever. Or I'm going to give it the B stone, and A is my main stone. So I can see treating them lightly, but treating two stones lightly, oh, I'll give those suckers up. Really? That's like a big step. And you're saying that's fine?
Yes. Mostly because P8 gives me access to the center already. Black can't surround both stones cleanly in one move. And the threat of Q4 still exists because black didn't defend the corner. So if we look at like sort of the bottom right shape in a vacuum, black can tanuki go anywhere. The minute white plays Q4, it's already in slightly okay result for white. It's like maybe 1 point better for black when white invades the corner, if you want to look at it with AI numbers, I guess. But the result is it feels fairly even to me.
So you're saying if black starts a surrounding thing, at some point we can pop in and have a reasonable outcome because the two black stones are
right.
There's a big gap there, and white will accomplish something reasonably well.
And then there's the knight's move left over. Obviously, if black tries to surround from the center, it creates additional problems down the line that black's going to have to cover from the outside.
And what about a hard surround?
And this one, I would break the shape at P7. So I would just move out directly here and keep black separated.
And connect for strength. And what does white do?
White can push down one more time.
This way? And then out?
Yep, and then out.
Okay, well, that's awfully straightforward. Okay. And it makes me wish I was strong like you. Okay.
It's actually, funny enough, a sequence that I saw from In Seong Hwang at the US Go Congress. I played the bottom right corner shape and actually had somebody do the P10 position against me in the Masters, and I lived immediately with it. And he looked at me when I played the immediate invasion, was like, huh? And I was like, what do you mean, huh? This is normal. Maybe the same question you had, because I had no idea. He's like, you can just leave this. It's like, there's no danger to white here at all. So I was like, okay, show me. And then we spent 20 minutes and he showed me like a million variations I don't remember. But the general gist of it that I got was I can go to the middle or I can go to the corner. Black can't stop both in one move. So it's not urgent.
I have so many very fond memories like that, where you're at a big tournament and all these amazing players, and you sit down and start chatting with one of them. They show you stuff. That's great memories. Okay. So black plays here a weird looking move.
I thought it was kind of
slow.
Yeah. I mean, already I feel like white could tanuki, but I think I'm pretty sure I answered.
And black just said, you know that corner I had? I just kind of have it now. Like, what? I don't want to bother you at all. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Come up, which is nice for your outside left. Good for next. I'm going to invade that area you said you wanted. Yeah. Nice light stones, no commitment. Not a problem. And then play away. And that's a little bit interesting. When do you know how to deal with the A concept, getting a position here, which is nice in a lot of ways. And when is it good to just do this, which we've been waiting for?
So my feeling about this position is A is a bit more of an investment. When white connects at A, white's pretty much taking a stake towards the upper center and the follow-up on the right side. I'm not actually sure I want to follow up on the right side or play on the top. So I left it. My feeling is that black can cut, but if black cuts, and even if I give up the subsequent M15 Atari, black's already spent so many moves on the upper right side, I don't care. The top side can never be big for black anyway. This is, to me, sufficient enough to say, okay, this area is small now. I have 3 stones. I'm just going to move to the next big place and keep the ball rolling.
Okay. That was great, and I believe I understood it, but let me catch up, because that you say all this stuff, and it's like, okay, let me catch up here. So, first, black can't do a lot in area 1. First, your upper left stones you've got there, and secondly, you've got these other 3 stones right there, and he simply can't do a lot in area 1. Okay. Next, in area 2, if he takes it, well, that's just absurdly slow and too many stones. And if he tries to take it this way, you still have options. You can say, no, I don't want you to have that area. You can say, yes, I very much want you to have that area as I take the outside. You can say, do whatever you want. I'm going to ignore again. So really flexible little situation there. So I like that. So you have yet to make any commitment in the A area, but you have been preparing B for a while. Therefore, we go with B. Makes perfect sense. Did I get it all right?
Yes, you did.
You
said it way better than me. I'm taking notes here. Like, you can't see it, but I have a notepad.
Okay, white, black. Yeah, I don't know any of these. White. Now you can come out or into the corner, okay. And then under, nice. That's a little slow, and then out. Yeah, perfect. I mean, every white move there is obvious and perfect, and black's like 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I got 8.5 points in the corner. It's like, really?
Yeah. I didn't think at this point I was winning, but I thought at this point the game was pretty easy for white.
Yeah. Oh, I like the way you said it. I'm not necessarily ahead, but dang, it's getting so easy. Yeah. And you got this stuff coming up, which looks so good. You can imagine killing that corner later. Okay. He cuts. If I was you, what would I do? Oh, that's hard. I could make a case for something like A. I come at it in Sente because that's a ladder. And next I drop down anywhere around B, and I've got a really nice top area. Well, that's nice.
You found the AI idea. Katago doesn't like giving up the N15 stone. It likes saving it a little bit more than the move that I chose, but the move that I chose is also not bad.
Yeah. There's a real positive thing in this move here. And there's some real positive things going on there. But then this, that's like, oh man, I that's like lust or something. I love that move.
Yeah. Okay. It's one of those interesting positions where it's like white could almost close their eyes, throw a stone on the board, and it can't be bad.
True. I'm gonna go back to our original move, and it's like, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, easy game for white. And I love how you said it. You're not necessarily ahead. Black's got a lot of cash. How much cash does white have? 10.
Yeah.
Not much. Not much. Underneath. Okay. This is a great asking move. I would have been worried. I still tend to hang on to what I'm supposed to do rather than what I believe in personally. And that hangs me up. Let me tell you, this is a beautiful move. Black saying, I'm going to do the right. I'm going to do the right. And you're saying, please go right ahead. And if you do, it's going to be too small. That's a great, and it's secure. Yeah, I love this move. Never would have even thought about it.
Yeah, actually, it came to me after like on the heels of a review I got in NAOL from Mr. Yang. Because I missed this type of move against another one of the 6 dons I played in the league, and it caused a lot of problems for the group on the right later. Now, of course, right now the white group at Q4 and R8 is not really in danger. White doesn't need to reinforce it. But if I take the time to reinforce it now, where's black's good Sente anyway? Yeah, sure, I give up Sente, but outside of him capturing the stone, what else is he going to do with it, really? You know? So in situations like that where black doesn't have an obviously great next move on the board, it's fine to play the move like S10 also. And that one really kind of slapped me in the face when he told me that. And that wasn't for this game, but it was a very similar situation with a very similar shape. And so I tried to apply it to this one.
Yeah. Well, let's just look at the opposite. So let's start with you submitting Sente. It's so small, and it's black did it for free. That hurts. And if you don't submit, and I mean, for instance, if you capture, it's like, holy cow. So your position is not as strong as I was giving it credit for. So this is better than I thought. Very practical. Now, you do have to give up. I mean, he gets this Atari, and that's a pretty darn pleasant Atari. But he had said so much about Area 1, and it's like, I don't want to say it's gone, but it's halfway gone. Of course, now the top's good for him. So interesting.
And all but 5 stones, all but 5 stones were spent in that area, so I was not so unhappy about it.
Well said. All but 5 stones. Yeah. And then here. And I like the spacing. Very nice. So when it comes to practical moves, you got the A, the 1, and the 2. And his 3, that's not practical. That's just a couple tiny little pinch of white stones and center access. But yeah, no, well done. Yeah, that's big for me. That's the combination I would have a hard time with. Good and understandable. Pinch it because you got stuff going on over there. And I'm sure viewers can see it, but you're developing corner, top, and left. Whitestone really wants to be on the left. Oh, isn't white developing area 2? No, not in the slightest. So the pinch is very obvious here, yeah. And the tight pinch, not the loose one.
Yeah. I find the loose one is almost never correct, because what ends up happening a lot of the time is it gives the opponent too much leeway.
Yeah.
And one little known fact about the 2-space low pincer specifically is that anytime you play it, you necessarily give up a ko to your opponent at C8, and I don't like that.
Just a second. I am giving you control. So someone, you have it.
Yeah, I can.
Someone gave it to you.
Yeah, so there's always this for black, if black ever needs to make the area easier for himself to play. So when you're attacking and you want to keep a lot of pressure on your opponent, the 2-space low pincer specifically leaves this ko behind, and I don't like that. It gives black a lot more options in the local fighting, so I'm not really a fan. So I tell my opponents no ko.
I never knew that. I'm going to do that again. If here, and black says, oh, I like this, and you go, great, now I'm attacking you. Okay, so you're saying there's a ko here. And if white says, no, there's not, then you're having too easy of a time.
Yep.
So the whole point is we're attacking black, so we have to play here. And now we don't want to submit because it's so easy. So we have to play the ko. Interesting.
Yeah.
And so there's a ko. Okay. Oh, I won't be able to keep that. That's too foreign. That knowledge is too foreign to me. So I won't be able to keep it. But 1 or 2 more times, if I see this, I'll go, oh, remember what Raven said? Oh, that's right. Okay. Tight. Good. Here. Yep. Okay. I don't understand I hate ones. A versus B.
Okay. So usually the main reason why we pick A over B is to prevent the C4 descent from technically being Sente. In the shape, if black pushes down at C4 now, white can come up to G3 and has access to the center. C4 itself isn't technically Sente. When you play B, C4 is more likely to be Sente because of the Aji with the push and cut.
Okay, let me catch up. Okay, so you're saying this is Sente, which I agree. And it's black has become so solid out of the blue. Okay, even if you drop down, black is significantly more solid. And if we play here, yeah, he's more solid, but we can go do whatever we want. It's not, Okay. Cool. Oh, I'm learning so much. He comes down anyway, and you do play here. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like it couldn't be bad. It looks a little slow, but I have N3 as a follow-up, and I have D7.
Yeah.
So because it gives me two modes to continue in two different parts of the board, I feel like G3 has to be at least 90-95% move. It can't be bad here.
Yeah. That gets me through a lot of moves. When I'm struggling with where should I play, if I'm like, well, I don't know. And I think, well, this can't be worse than 95%. And I go, all of a sudden I have confidence again. It doesn't matter if it's the best move. 95% is excellent. I get so many of my students said, you just follow basic reasoning. You're going to be pumping out 85% moves consistently. You're a Don player. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so from this position, you were pointing out that this becomes a great move, which I agree with. This guy becomes a good move. So this little G3 of yours makes you very strong, takes away black Sente, and makes all your next moves great. Very nice. That's deep stuff. He comes in, and since I don't know, I've never played this formation, I would be at a loss as to what to do. So I'm just going to
anything you want.
Say it again?
You could do anything you want. I just picked the simple one. Keep him contained and force him to live small in the corner while turning the upper left into thickness. I felt like
okay, so you didn't even cross your mind to try to kill him.
Nope. Actually, also because I know from looking at these positions with another 4-dan in Europe, Go Dave, the best that white can ever hope for in the shape is Ko. And I'm not really interested in remembering that variation either, so I just chose the simplest one. Jumping can't be bad. It fixes J16. It fixes C14. The left side's still big to follow up on. He has to live in the corner. It's all the burden's on black, not on white.
Okay.
That's what I like.
There's a certain corner that for, gosh, I'd have to say 40 years, I was saying black's dead. I told all my years and years, black's dead, black's dead, black. Finally, some lowly 2Q, I show it to. He says, no, he's not dead. It's Ko. That's not Ko. It's dead. No, it's Ko. It's not Ko. It's dead. It's Ko. So for the next 12 hours, I looked at every variation and said, it's Ko. And now I could never bring it back if I had all day. It's like, I have no idea the Ko, but it's there. It's a horrible Ko.
Yeah, usually it's considered dead because the Ko is so bad.
Right.
Not all Kos are the same,
Because left is bigger than top. And now you get both. Very nice. And any particular reason you chose A over B?
Not locally. The main reason I picked the thicker shape was because black has Aji at c15 in the upper left corner. And so if there's any type of like fighting or weird stuff that happens, I would prefer to not have additional weaknesses facing the center.
Wow. That's, yeah.
So I'm just covering my butt here.
So on the surface, this looks like it's doing more. And you're saying, well, yeah, but see, there's this stuff going on. And I don't want this weakness to come back and bite me.
Yep.
Wow. No wonder I can't play you. Okay. White, black. No reason not to honey. Just any of the fixes. And we don't do the Atari because now there's the problem down here.
Right. Yeah, you can do the F1 Atari also sets up a ko.
Right.
But yeah, you got the gist. There's the Hane in the corner to push. It's all bad for white. Yeah, and then B3 from now. And then yeah, there's the ko. Yeah, this is usually considered a tragedy. Sometimes white can sacrifice like this if black's completely surrounded and
But
the
it's
outside's
just
better. But
it's horrible. Yeah.
This was not my plan.
So you came out.
Yeah. Again, I think it can't be bad because I have N3 as a follow-up and he doesn't ever have time to stop it while he's in the middle of dying.
He goes for some life.
Yeah. So actually, my question for you comes here. And I'll tell you kind of in the easiest way that I can what I'm thinking. I'm building the left at black's expense. He doesn't have any meaningful forcing moves against the corner that help him live outright outside of one Hane at A2. So this move I'm thinking is also like a 90% move. It can't be bad. Grow the left, start reducing at the center, cover the weakness 05, 08. I'm thinking this is a good move. But AI for about the last 10 to 15 moves has been suggesting for both black and white that we deal with R11 now. I can't for the life of me figure out why R11 is important. Because in my brain, I should be able to cut there at any time. My group on the right side is pretty much alive. I can read that black can't kill it. And for black, it looks to me like after he invested N14 and M15, the right side is just endgame. It's territory. It's not really contributing much to the middle game value of things. Why is R11 so important in this board?
You said a lot there. And there's no way I can take on. When you went through that whole thing, it's like I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to see the coordinate you're talking about and how that related to the other thing. And I pretty much did it, but there's no way I'd be able to organize all that in my head. Okay, so if I show you some of the stuff I'm looking at that applies to the question, I think I'd get a lot of things wrong. But we have no other choice. So here we go. I wonder about the practical value of white trying to go after area 1. First, if you go, I'm going after area 1. Well, anytime black wants, he can just plop in numerous ways saying, no, it's really small. Oh, I'm going to get it. Oh, no, you're not. I mean, it's just like, it's not that big. I mean, it's an impractical thing to go after. Okay, well, what else are we doing by this move? We're defending our 2 stones. I don't think they need defense. What else are we doing? We're attacking that black group. Really? I don't see that either. So I'm not seeing the purpose of this move. Now, everyone knows it has value. And I'd put it intuitively at least 80 to 90%. I don't see the 100% value here. Why don't we pause there and you tell me?
I agree.
Okay.
That was my feeling when I played the move. But
okay. Now, I have to admit, this black move bothers me, which is another reason I don't like trying to take that area, because this black move is like, it's going to be even harder to take. Okay. So what else is going on? If I don't want to take area 1, I can't imagine this is Sente. And even if black responds, yeah, it's still kind of small and you're already alive there. So I don't see that as important. Up here, I'm not very impressed. So what is there? Well, this thing that's been left over. That's as far as I can get with it.
Same.
Okay.
It was screaming about it with such urgency for both. It seemed like the type of move to me that, like, I feel like if a professional had the position, they would find R11 and they would be like, oh yeah, it's just a move. But I can't for the life of me figure out why. Because to me, I look at it and it's just endgame. Like, what does it do?
Yeah. That you just rephrased it correctly. This white N3 endgame move. It's like, it's just, well, of all these, if nothing significant is left, what do we do? Go to endgame. Well, where should we start? There's a big hole there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. So it might just be the biggest endgame then.
Now, is this specifically the move it wants?
Yes, it wants it for both white and black.
And what happens here?
Atari at N13.
We'll do it this way.
And then it wants black to play. Black can do any number of things here, but the diagonal was the one that it was screaming at the most. So just
M12. White here?
No, M12. Just get out.
M12?
One to the left, the diagonal.
M12.
Yeah, M12.
What's the value of your cutting stones?
I don't know. This is, again, when I was looking at it, I didn't understand why. From here, white can play K13. So when I looked at this situation, this is what it was looking at. So I guess it's trying to use the reduction to cover the upper center somehow in Sente, is my guess. But that's a little bit beyond me, I think. Maybe in a slow game, I find some idea like this, but I wouldn't be thinking about cutting at R11 for the sake of going for that.
Now this is all starting to make sense. If we go back to your F7. Okay, and I've seen AI do this sort of thing where out of the blue, wait, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's look at a couple vulgar moves. For instance, well, we'll just go here. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to capture. Is that what black's going to do now?
I think black has to play there now.
Okay.
And then white can move out to the center, I think.
Then why don't we say that white's, done?
Yeah.
AI says no good?
Also possible, just wasn't the preferred variation.
So that's funny.
Yeah.
This is possible, but the other one's better. And let all your stones die. Wow, that's hard.
Yeah, I feel like that's where, like, the AI becomes, like, less than practical, because I would go for a variation like what you just showed, because to me that makes sense, right? But this one, this idea of making just a couple exchanges and then crawling out, and really K13 was the plan the whole time, like, I don't in my brain make the K13 to cut connection.
Okay, so now black has to play here, and we get what AI says is the magical move.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to admit, that's a pretty move. I could not back it up because there's so many gaps and I don't see enough left over to make it, because of this and that. Man, there's a lot of stuff here. I couldn't do it. But you can see that that's a pretty move.
Yeah. I followed just a little bit of, like, I don't think trivia is the right word, but I followed the variation out quite a bit if black does try to ever use that cut. And it seems like the detriment of cutting that knight's move for black is that the bottom left corner's not alive yet. So as the fighting begins to spill in that direction, black ends up dead somewhere, whether it's with the cutting stone or with the corner. So even if black wants to resist this, black can't with optimal play.
Right. So just for the observers, let's go through that. Now I'm going to have to put some moves down that are in no way optimal, but they just paint a basic picture.
Yep.
Okay, so let's say the cut happens and a fight starts. Okay, so I'll just have black save the stone, and a fight is starting, and black says, aha, I got you. Yeah, and you're dead. So that's what you're saying is, as the fight starts, this black group won't be able to take part.
Correct.
And that's too big of a problem. Okay. I've seen AI do that so many times, and it's like, God, how did it go that far ahead that I couldn't live?
I feel like
wow.
If you're Jujo Jang, maybe that's practical for you. But I feel like even for me, this is not practical. I'm not going to find this in 9 out of 10 games. Maybe one game with slow time settings, this idea might come to me. But they're like, even now, it's like it's so hard for me to visualize this cut and K13 being related. You know, so I couldn't for the life of me really understand this move.
Yeah, some tough stuff there.
Yeah, tough stuff. I just played normal, I thought.
So we got this far. We've seen a lot of stuff, and for the observers, Raven and I have a little bit of history. He was back at, I don't know, I would just take a wild guess at the 5 and 10Q range.
Yeah, 6Q specifically.
And I was befriending him and talking to him and showing some stuff. And he appreciated that. And then years later, here he's at 9 Dan. He says, hey, Lance, I'm 9 Dan now. Hey, long time. And we said, I asked him, how about a lesson sometime? I'll take a Go lesson. He's like, you can have all the lessons you want.
Yeah.
So we eventually got together. And I said, okay, and he said, okay, you play here. Why? Well, because I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't understand anything. And it was kind of, I'll use the word awkward. I mean, we both want to be friendly and share Go information. And there was this difficulty of his ideas being so complex. So here we are. How long ago was that? A year?
A year and a half, almost 2 years, I think. Yeah.
And now we're like communicating.
Yeah, that's
He's
great.
simplified his game so we can say it rather than just do it, which is a difficult thing.
Actually spent the whole last year and a half.
A little more, and so this is very nice for me that we're able to communicate on some stuff, and I'm able to understand, much more of your moves. Great, thank you.
Well, thank you, actually. So my opponent, for context, he's EGF4 Dan. He played this move because he said, I thought I was losing and I couldn't find a way to catch up. So I looked for the weakest white thing and I attacked it.
That makes sense. A lot of times you have to do something like that.
Yeah. At this point, just proud, as white, at this point, I feel like I can't lose the game.
Right.
Because all I have to do is play defense for the rest of the game, and black just doesn't have enough points.
Yeah, right. And he does have some points. And if you slack off, boom, he got you.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, I have I have so much Go experience over the last 50 plus years. I played so many 4-dans and I know exactly how they play. And they're scary sometimes because they're like playing perfect. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I supposed to win this? And all of a sudden, a little something like, oh, they didn't know that. And it's like, that's a wrong direction. That doesn't work here. And all of a sudden you get half a stone ahead. And then another half a stone. And then it's like, oh, because it's scary at first. They know how to play some Go. Interesting. That would be hard for me. I'd be looking at this, but this is Sente, and then you start something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have even considered this move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my concern actually, was the C15 Aji. So I push here because the only direction for black to run the stone is north, which helps me. But also B7 is kind of a mutual base point. If I take B7, it guarantees an eye, and it also removes an eye from black. And I don't want black to have any meaningful forcing moves there from Sente at all at any given point in the future either. So it felt to me like C9 was the super solid move here. AI recommended C10, but it looked too hard, so I didn't read it.
Yeah, what a good example. I'd say, what are you, 15Q? What a stupid move. Oh no, I'm 10 done. Okay, you got me.
Yeah,
That
like,
just looks so thin.
It's actually on purpose, because what it wants to do was so ungodly. Like if you hover over it on the AI platform Train, it'll give you a preview of what it's thinking. And its whole plan is to sacrifice the entire left side territory to build the left side facing the center thick to go back and cut at R11 to then gate K13.
Okay, stop.
Yeah,
that's so absurd.
Literally, yes. So I will never play that. I just
no human should ever play that.
This is to me better than the blue move. That's what I like to tell my students. Like, sometimes the AI will show you the optimal variation, and it's just not practical. At that point, it's worthless to you. You should pick the next best thing that you as a human can find, and then we call that better than the blue move. And I would much rather see you play that move than play the AI one.
So Ko and his move isn't even a Ko threat. So you take, and then it's just game over. He has 2 weak groups and easy.
Yeah, and then I get back to the cut after this. So he even lost the end game on the right side shortly hereafter.
Yeah, I just want to look at a few. That's actually a good stopping point. But yeah, boom, boom, boom. And in, very nice. He's got no eyes. I like this move. You need some thickness, and this is a nice slow step in Sente. Yeah. And then over here, yeah. Good.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was very useful for me. Appreciate that I was able to understand some of your moves.
I appreciate you taking a look and sharing input on R11.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, George, for being the go-between. And we'll see you later, Raven. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.